Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Ball. I am Colly, and this week I am joined by Big Paddy. Paddy, what's happening?
All right, Kai. Happy Christmas.
Happy
Kind
Christmas
of.
to you.
Yeah.
Did you
Good
have a
one.
good dinner?
Yes, I'm still digesting it here. I'm like Jabba the Hutt. Fucking. Yeah. I'm glad it's not smell-o-vision we have because I'm farting and everything here, full of turkey and ham and I love it.
You know what? Right, the one thing I was only saying it to one of the lads there today. The one thing I hate about not having Christmas dinner in my own house is I wake up the next day and I've no leftover turkey and ham, and there's nothing
That's
worse
a
because
bummer.
all I
Yeah,
want is a sandwich. All I want is a
yeah,
turkey and ham
yeah,
sandwich.
yeah,
But,
yeah. There was nothing
other than
better
that,
yesterday in Stephen's Estate and having me turkey and ham sambo, a bit of stuffing and all. I love it.
I love it. So other than that, yeah, all good anyway. Good Christmas, yeah.
Great. Yeah, very good, very good. Still a bit of time off now, so plenty of time now for football and golf and all the good things in life before work starts back. What about yourself? Santi, bring you anything nice?
He brought me a few bits, some golf shoes. Don't know whether that's gonna improve me golf, but it'll definitely make me more comfortable when I'm fucking throwing clubs around the golf course. So, yeah, that's the best thing I have to write home about. He was very kind to me. So, sorry.
Looks like he's after bringing you a decent performance from Chelsea.
Oh, he is. Yeah. We are watching Chelsea versus Bournemouth. There will be scrolling down the bottom. 2-0 to Chelsea at the moment. We are in the 30th minute. Probably 34th minute for anyone watching on a normal channel. Havertz scored in the 60th minute. And what are we watching? We're watching it on Premier. Havertz and Mount have scored. So, Paddy, I was very impressed with Potter's selection. Playing a 4 at the back. It's about time. I've been screaming for it for ages. Used to play that nonsense with 3 in the back. Now, there's still a few injuries, so I'm just wondering if them injuries weren't there, would he still be gone with 3 at the back? So it's a little bit. I expected him to come back to a big win. I think we gave a score prediction during the week on it. I think I said something like 3-0, maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, I was kind of expecting that. But Paddy, we're going to be looking at the fixtures for this weekend. So we have a couple. It's going to be the 3 that we always look at: Liverpool and Leicester, Wolves and Man United, and then Forest and Chelsea. We'll have a quick look at the Carabao. We'll talk about that because we had a few results from it. We're into the quarterfinals now. United are still there. So yeah, we'll have a look at that, and we'll have a look at the fantasy football, Paddy. We'll see how we're doing for the week, and we'll have a quick look at the league as well. Although we're watching this Chelsea match, we're not going to drag it out. If the episode happens to go on a little bit shorter than the match, so be it. But we'll rock with it anyway for now, Paddy. So first thing, Paddy, we're going to look at is the football review. Right, Paddy. The first game we had and we predicted and we were able to watch it was Aston Villa and Liverpool. 3-1 to Liverpool, Paddy. Also big news during the week, and we'll get your thoughts on this because United have been chasing Gakpo for ages, and all of a sudden it seemed to be done in the click of a finger. Liverpool have signed them. What's your initial thoughts on that one there? Do you think that's one that got away, or?
Yeah, you're seeing all the memes now on social media about all the United fans backtracking now, saying, "Oh, he was only good in the Farmers League. He's really brutal and all." Whereas, like last month, they were saying like he's the next best thing, the next like Ballon d'Or winner. I think it's a loss for United. Good signing for Liverpool, especially if you look at the price. If you look at, we had an option in the summer between signing him and Anthony. Now Liverpool are getting Gakpo for 37 million, and we spent close to 100 million on Anthony. Now, when we look back at this in 2 seasons' time, is Anthony 3 times the player that Gakpo is? If you just look at cost,
yeah.
I don't know. So I think a bit of a loss for United, and definitely a decent signing for Liverpool. Someone they actually need, because you seen last night that they got the result, which was a very good result against a resolute Aston Villa. Under their new manager, they had a good couple of results. But they were for up front. It looked like Salah was up there on his own, even though what's the big lanky
Nunes,
yeah,
useless bastard.
I was sitting with a Liverpool fan yesterday, and he said we didn't buy him for the goals. He causes havoc And I was like, oh, you spend 100 million for someone to cause havoc? That's
Yeah,
bullshit. This
yeah.
stop. They got the result, and it was a good result against Villa. It was, I'd say.
I like. I always I'm always watching Nunes through a microscope because I just love to give him abuse when he's shit. But fuck me, he is horrendous. Like his finishing is shocking. Whatever about causing havoc, yeah, he makes all these runs and he keeps himself busy. His job is to fucking finish, and I don't care what Liverpool fans say. Right, his job is to score goals, to create goals. He's not scoring goals. Like he's not finishing. He's not prolific. He's not a prolific finisher. He has scored a few, but like when
Scored
you create,
10.
yeah, so if
Scored
you
10.
throw no shit, some of it's gonna stick. Like, but
Yeah.
it has to be more consistent, and the quality has to be better for someone of that standard. Like, but for the price tag, it's just fucking outrageous. I just can't. I can't justify it. Like
10 goals though. He's gone.
Who are they against? That's what I want to know. Who are they all against?
Oh, I know. Yeah, but I was kind of left stuck as well. Then when he did say it to me yesterday, I was like, "Ah, yeah, he's shocking." And he's like, "Well, he scored 10 goals," and then I was like, "Oh, okay." I can't really say much about that. Like halfway through the season, 10 goals, 4 seasons in the Premier League. Is it that bad, really? Like,
it is. I'm gonna say it is. I'm gonna say he's horrendous. I'm sticking by me guns. Fuck it, he's horrendous. I'm sticking with it. Paddy, did you watch that Liverpool match? Did you?
yes.
What did you make of their overall performance? Did you think where did you think they really lacked in terms of, like, I know at the start they kind of went 1-0 down and obviously got the good result, but like for me, that midfield just still seems a little bit weak. I just think they need to strengthen there. Like,
it's too old.
Yeah.
It's too way too old. Like all of their midfield players now are past their peak. So they're all declining every season now, and you can see now when it gets to, you could see after into the second half, Villa had a really, really good spell from about the 60th to the 75th minute, and I was saying to myself, if they don't get a goal in this spell here, Liverpool have the game, and they did, because it ended then, and Liverpool just kind of took control, played the game, the ball around, played on the counter. They brought on a couple of like 16, 17-year-olds from the bench who looked like half decent as well. But it just showed the lack of depth in the squad that they had. So I think definitely they need more depth in their squad, which I think Gapco will fill going forward, and they definitely need someone in the midfield without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so Paddy, I think overall justifiable 3-1 win for Liverpool. No complaints about that one, I don't think.
No, definitely no. Villa should have had 2 or 3 in the first half. They had a couple of really, really good chances, but they just didn't take it. So Liverpool took their chances, and that's all you can do at this level of football. So they deserve to win.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Paddy, on to the next one that we did review, but obviously we're on here now while it's happening, because we've come on slightly earlier than usual. We usually would be on at 8 o'clock, so we'd be talking about the result while watching the United game. But at the moment, it's 2-0 to Chelsea. We're in the 37th minute here on this one. They look good. What's your initial thoughts on seeing the starting lineup and how Chelsea have started? Because they do look pretty solid at the moment.
You always think after a long break, such as the World Cup, which has never happened before, but even a winter break, the first game back, what are you going to get from your team? Watched Liverpool last night, positive performance. Arsenal, positive performance. We're looking at Chelsea now, and it's one of the best performances I've seen you have under Potter. But this 4 at the back and this new formation, as you said earlier on, is it true necessity, or is it actually tactically the way he's going to play moving forward? I think if he changes back to a back three after this performance, fans will be kicking up stink.
And now I think I said it when we were breaking for the World Cup that he was going to look like a hero. I thought either way, because he was going to come back and he was going to be playing against Bournemouth. He's then going into a match against Nottingham Forest, and then I think we have someone else that's well beatable. So the 3 games back, I was expecting 9 points coming from Chelsea, and I wouldn't have been happy if we don't get. I won't be happy if we don't get 9 points. I'm a lot happier to see 4 at the back with Chelsea here at the moment. I think Koulibaly probably works better in a back 3 or in a back 4 as well. With just one defender beside him and kind of one out on the wing. I actually like Sterling out on the right hand side for some reason. I know he kind of favour. Oh Jesus! Just as I fucking say that. Just as he usually kind of comes in off the left, but I do like Christian Pulisic playing as well, which is what hasn't been happening. And I've been saying it for ages. Christian Pulisic and Ziyech, 2 players that absolutely played unbelievable in the World Cup for their countries, and they were always just sitting on the bench for Chelsea. players that weren't getting 90 minutes they were, and they played nearly every minute for their countries in succession of 3 games and 10 days or something like that. So it shows they're well capable of putting the minutes in on the pitch. They're well able for it. So this horseshit of we need to recover the player, I think that's kind of horseshit. I don't think we need to kind of be looking at it that extreme. But happy with the way he's set up. I like the way he's played Zachary in the middle. He had been playing Gallagher for a fair bit, but I do like seeing Zachary in there because I think he's decent enough, and he could be one that we kind of get into that starting team. Because like I said before, Kante and Kovacic cannot stay fit, so we do need other options there. Jorginho always stays fit, but he doesn't. Jorginho never lights the world on fire. You know, he does things very simple, 5-yard passes. He'll try a ball around the corner the odd time. Most of the time, it doesn't really work. But happy with how Chelsea are playing. I was just about to say, look at the way he took the ball there, and then he fucking loses. I mean, he's really good said. But
couple of questions for as a Chelsea fan. So the first one is looking at this performance now and the squad that's available to you. What do you need in January? And are there any concrete rumours going around of who you might sign?
We definitely need, I think, an out-and-out striker. But the problem is we do have Havertz there who is quite good. So I think if we're going to get a striker, we have to get someone who is like we're after signing Nkunku, but now he's fucking injured. So I don't know what we're going to get when we get him. He is an out-and-out striker. Havertz, I worry about. I don't know whether he's going to slip into that little 10 role because I honestly don't think Potter is going to drop the likes of Mason Mount and stuff like that, even when Mount isn't playing well. I would like to see Mount being dropped when he's not playing well. I don't think just because he's a Chelsea lad and he's been with Chelsea for years and he's an English lad, I don't think that warrants the right to start. No. I think it has to be based on your performances. Looks like he's playing well. He had a good finish there today, which was good to see. Because he does usually severely lack goals. So I think a striker is definitely what we need. And then we do need to strengthen midfield. To be honest with you, what I would like to see is I'd actually like to see Chelsea sell N'Golo Kante. I would never say that, but he's a waste of space, to be honest with you. And I don't mean that in the sense of...
Get him off the books, I know what you mean.
Exactly. I don't mean that in the sense of he's not a good player and he's not worth having in the squad. He's great to have there. But keeping him fit, he's not fit for 95% of most seasons now. He's probably one of the highest players, I think, at the club. He's probably on 250, 300 grand. So he's no use there. So I would like to see Chelsea get a couple of midfielders. Declan Rice would be perfect for Chelsea. And I do think that is, you're asking me who I think is realistic and who we've been linked with. I think Declan Rice is one that we've been strongly linked with. He's best mates with Mason Mount. So they have a good relationship there. So he's obviously putting in the word. Chelsea do have a history of getting players from West Ham, although they're kind of rivals. And them players doing well, the likes of Lampard, Joe Cole. Big money, I think probably you're talking the guts of 80 million, I think. But look, for what you're getting, I think he's probably worth it because we've spent 80 million on absolute dog shit in the past and it hasn't worked out.
I think a bit more than 80.
Could be 100. I think Miles was talking in excess of 100 to 120 million. Now, look, it's colossal money, but Chelsea have always spent money like that, and I don't want to see that change. Why? Yeah, true, Abramovich, but that's why I was saying in the takeover of Chelsea. Yeah, we all think it's great, but he's saying we're going to sign all these players, but Roman Abramovich would just go and sign them, rather than talking about it, and that's what I want to see continue at Chelsea. And everyone kind of looks at me and goes, yeah, but do you not think like that's a bit fucking like you're buying fucking spending stupid money? Like, yeah, sure, everybody has to do it. Do you know what I mean? You have to keep up with the spending. That's the problem. If you don't keep up, you're gonna fall behind. And like you said, the way Chelsea were going with Potter, I just think geez, what are you doing, Silva? I just don't think that we were on a level where we were going to be able to keep up. And Chelsea need massive signings. I have heard that Todd Bowley wants to make like a key marquee signing. What ball that is. Oh, go on.
Oh, nice.
Pulisic. Love it. That's not for you. He's just giving a free out for that.
Scumbags.
That is not a free out. Look at this.
Oh, filthy bastard.
How is that a free kick?
Could have killed him.
That's horseshit, that is. Fucking robbery. But yeah,
Right.
that's what I think. I think midfield I think is definitely where we need to strengthen up as well. And Declan Rice, like I said, is one that's strongly linked with us.
And looking at the performances from specifically Tottenham and Newcastle yesterday,
yeah,
how confident would you be about getting in the top 4 this season? It's going to be a
not
really
confident
tight.
at all.
No,
Zero confidence. Look, Tottenham, yeah, they came back. They didn't really look that impressive. Couldn't get the win. Came back from 2-0 down and got a draw. Fair enough. It's
same
look,
old Tottenham.
if you're 2-0 down and you're not that long left, you'd take the 2-2 draw. But I think Newcastle are actually a bigger threat.
Mm.
Now, the only thing I fear with Newcastle as well is another lack of depth. But you could have said that about the Leicester team that won the league with the lack of depth, and they never fell off. And I think the same thing with Arsenal as well. We keep waiting on them to fall off and to start losing. And we're getting to the stage now where it was like that Leicester season where we're still going, right, hold on, they're actually not losing and they're not playing bad and they're getting the results. This could be a little bit worrying for the likes of City and Liverpool. I don't know. I don't know. We're frozen here, but anyway, I don't know what else. Who else have we got that's kind of threatening that position? We have United again. I think United are in a better situation at the moment than Chelsea are. They've got a manager that's looking really strong. They've got players who weren't playing great. Good save. They've got players who weren't playing great in the likes of Rashford and Martial, who are now starting to hit form and getting results and scoring goals. The likes of Fernandes is coming back to his best. All this stuff is going in the right direction for United, and I don't think that's happening for Chelsea. So, in terms of us getting top 4, we're sitting in what, 8th now. I think we go up to about 5th or 6th if we win this, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all.
Liverpool, you look like they're coming back into a bit of form. I don't think they'll be as bad as they were in the first half of the season.
No.
Newcastle again, very convincing performance against Leicester yesterday. I was watching that game as well, and they ran the show. It was a really, really solid performance. Tottenham again, I just can't see them lasting the season. They just concede too many early goals, and you just can't keep getting away with that. You really can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liverpool and so Newcastle, City, and Arsenal are going to be that strong all season. You're talking about 3 or 4 teams fighting for one spot, one Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're nearly guaranteed City, Liverpool. Well, City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, and you've got a flying Newcastle. You've got an informed Manchester United. You've got a flying Liverpool at the moment. A well-performing Spurs at times.
Yeah.
There's way too much there for Chelsea to compete with.
Yeah.
Especially under this manager and with the gaps and the tactics, that the lack of tactical brilliance that we require to get there. I'm very surprised if we end up in top 4. And at the start, that's such a shame because at the start of the season, I said we'd finish 2nd. I think it was, but I can't remember, 2nd or 3rd. I said we'd finish 3rd, and I said Spurs would finish 2nd. But Jesus Christ, I'd bite your hand off for a 4th position now. I don't think we're going to get it, to be honest.
I think when you see Liverpool and Chelsea's buyout over say to give me 2 seasons and you'll be back to seeing 2-3 clubs in the semi-finals of the Champions League again, like it was say in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
I think the Premier League is getting very, very strong again.
It is, yeah, and I think what's happening as well is they're not only getting strong. It's not only getting strong. I think, and I don't know, but like the likes of the Italian league and the Spanish league, I think they're starting to weaken. Like I think like that Barcelona team is not what it used to be.
No.
The Real Madrid team, you still have Benzema there, but like I know we all like there's obviously the likes of Vinicius Junior and all there who's very good, but like are they the same type of player now that like
anymore?
They're not like they're really not like, and the Barcelona has just been a complete turnaround. I just don't think even some of the players they have there, I just don't think they're to the Barcelona standard really. And that's where I think that's where I think England looks better in terms of the league because them teams look a bit weaker. PSG, fair enough for PSG. They've always kind of been thereabouts. Italy, I think Italy maybe one or two teams are getting strong again, but like the likes of Juventus and all, Juventus aren't the team they used to be. AC Milan are coming back into it. Inter Milan are kind of
But they
thereabouts.
still wouldn't get
Napoli
anywhere
are
in the
doing
Premier
well.
League.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
And like you look at like Barcelona, only a couple of seasons ago, the best team probably that we've ever seen, are now in a knockout phase of the Europa League with Man United.
Yeah,
You know,
and it's just fucking fall from grace, like.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with Chelsea at the moment in terms of.
Actually, sorry, do you know much about this new Club World Cup that they're bringing in? Is it going to be the exact same as the International World Cup? Like over a month?
That's what I heard. It's going to be is it the top 10 teams or something like that is going into our top 8 teams or something.
Ah, no. From each league.
No, I can't remember what way. The way I had heard about it was that there was, or maybe it was 16 teams or something. But there's going to be a group of teams. Was it 32?
Yeah, no, good. Well, no, it's the same as the World Cup. Many go into the World Cup. 32.
32, yeah, 32.
Yeah, so it's 32. It is, and they'll run it over a month, similar to the way the World Cup did this year. That'd be brilliant.
I mean, it's brilliant for us to watch, but like, when are they running it? Are they running it during the summer? Like,
maybe the winter.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, well, look, in terms of like the Super League and all that, when that was happening, everybody kind of jumped on the horseshit bandwagon. But I was kind of like, you know what? Fuck it. It's more football. It's more entertaining football. You're playing against fucking top opponents every time. Yeah, we know the money grabbing shit is there, but where it's the dirty money. But sure, we've just gone through one of the best World Cups ever with dirty money and nobody batted an eyelid. All of a sudden, within the first couple of days, everyone had forgot about the issues that was over there, you know. And everyone stopped talking about it, and everyone was only talking about football. Which, look, that's what we wanted to watch. We said it, Paddy. Like, we're not. They're not politically there. Like, they're there to just cover football, and that's it. Like, So yeah, I don't give a shit. Like, if it's more football for us to watch, then happy days. More content for us.
I don't think we'll ever see any of the pundits getting a Nobel Peace Prize.
No,
so I think they should try and stop getting them, because I think they're trying to be something that they're not.
Yeah,
quite frankly, you know, all these pundits coming out and they're talking absolute horseshit. Like, no, their views are, you know, applicable to what's going on in the world today, but it's common sense as well. They don't need to just keep on harping on. Just do your job and talk about the football.
Yeah, it's horseshit. And the problem is, right, they make a little rant about it, they say something about it, then Sky Sports are clipping it. They're putting it up on their social medias. They're putting it everywhere. They're trying to just fucking shove it in your face. You know, just like, just give us a fucking break from this shite. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just cover the fucking football. Keep your punditry standards up.
This is so bad. This is so bad. The World Cup's so bad. Okay, but now pay me for covering football in the World Cup. Like, exactly. Such a fucking hypocrite. Like,
yeah, it's horseshit. Right, well, we'll move on from Chelsea Bournemouth to Paddy. The next one is United and Forest. We kind of looked at that last week. I think I said convincing win for United, something like 3-0 or something like that. We probably won't have the team news at all. So I don't know. We'll see how this one goes. We'll probably talk about this one next week anyway, because we'll have to cover this one and the other one.
Yeah, looking at the Carabao Cup game, because I said last week about this game that I was nervous about it, because United over the last couple of seasons, you know, especially when Ten Hag didn't have the players with him for a while, you know, they'd go back to the performances of last season, but we had a decent performance against Burnley in the Carabao Cup, and it was only Burnley, but I seen some of the players, to call out Rashford in particular, he scored a worldly of a goal in that game. But the team look a lot more resilient than they have done. So I'm hoping to see a really good performance tonight at Old Trafford.
And I suppose we're like sticking on the Carabao Cup. We had the United and the Man City and the Liverpool game 3-2 to Manchester City. Do you know what, right? I came, obviously that was the first game that big game that we watched after the World Cup. And I sat there watching it. Now I know it probably weren't the strongest teams they could have put out, but I was sitting there thinking to myself, these two teams I don't think have enough to win the league. And it was the first time I'd ever had that thought about Man City in particular. About saying like they just don't look great. Now, I don't know whether it was just fucking everybody's getting back together, just a cup match. They probably didn't give a bollocks if they got knocked out of it. I'd say their sole concentration's on the Champions League. But it was the first little blip where in my mind where I thought to myself, I don't think Manchester City are going to win this league. And that's when I started thinking, right, this is a problem where Arsenal are going to start fucking winning the league here. And nobody's going to fucking catch them. But it'd be interesting to see kind of what happens with the likes of City there, because look, City are quality, but in my mind, the performance that I saw, the way they were getting opened up, didn't look like the City
against Liverpool. Yeah.
it didn't look like the City of old. So, Paddy, we're into the quarterfinals of that cup. Man City are obviously there. So the next round is Man City and Southampton. Newcastle or Manchester City or Manchester United got Charlton, which should be a handy one at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest and Wolves and Newcastle and Leicester. Paddy, I think we were talking just before and we were saying that there's only kind of two big teams, yourselves and Man City there. Newcastle could be the dark horses in that.
Yeah. Just
and I think that could be one they really they go for. Like, I think there might be an upset where Man City lose and it could be United in the final with Newcastle, and that can happen there. Like,
or Newcastle could knock out either United or City. On the way.
Depends on what happens. Like,
So
I think there's definitely potential for a trophy for Newcastle this season through that. And they'll be hungry to get that. The owners will definitely want that. They want something. They haven't had that in ages. They'll be hungry for that. And they'll probably see that as one, if they can get through that Leicester game, which, look, they just spanked them, shouldn't be a bother to them. You'd be surprised how fucking
performances would merit some sort of a trophy this season, because they've been playing really well, considering where they were. Like, I think Eddie Howe has done an amazing job.
Yeah, very good. Paddy, will we move on to the games that are coming up for the weekend?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what we'll do? We'll actually have a look at the fantasy football before we move into that. Then we'll look at that after, right? Okay. Right, Paddy, we're going to look at the fantasy football. We'll get an update on our league, and we'll see who's riding high at the top and who's fucking embarrassing themselves at the bottom. So for anyone listening on Spotify or anything like that, make sure you get yourselves over to YouTube, or you can get us on Facebook or Twitter, but we'd prefer you go to YouTube just because why not? So Paddy, this is me this week. 35 points so far. The average at the moment is 37. I had Ward in goal because I didn't think that Kepa was going to be fit. He is. Looks like that might be a big boo-boo for me. I have... Is that my team? Here's my team. I have Ben White. Ben White there for 2 points. Trippier I just brought in this week. I had Bourne in, and I took Bourne out and put him in. So happy with that, because Trippier got an assist. I still have Cancelo to play tomorrow. Brought Trossard in, thought he was going to be a great player to bring in. They hammered him, but fucking didn't do anything. I still have Rashford, and I still have De Bruyne to play. Martinelli got 8. Andreas Pereira got 3. Kane got 7 with a savage header. It was a really good header. And then I have Haaland as captain. So still have kind of 4 big hitters to play. On the bench, I have Edward, Brandon Williams, and fucking Dallo, who was injured. And then I have Kepa, obviously. So yeah, 35 points, 37 is the average. We'll have a look at you, Paddy. I think you have a slightly better week this week, don't you?
Yeah, so far, I'm not doing too bad.
Sorry, get your team up there now. You can have a look. Okay.
So 48 so far. But as you said, I've still got 5 players to play. So Ederson still to play tomorrow. I'm hoping to get a clean sheet. Cancelo is fairly consistent with getting decent points. Saliba for Arsenal. That was the 1 goal at West Ham got, stopped him from getting full points. But Trippier again, very consistent with bringing home the points with assists. Almiron, I think it was this season now. What's it? 9 goals this season, and in his previous 110 games, he only got 9 goals. So having a smashing season. Odegaard and Martinelli bringing in the points. I still have Rashford.
Odegaard, you had Odegaard, you bastard. I've seen him fucking scored and assisted, I think, didn't he?
So what I done was I took out Jesus and I put in Odegaard, because Jesus, as good as he is for the team, he doesn't score a lot of goals.
Not scoring points,
yeah. So then obviously I've got my 3 up front there: Martial, Haaland, and Kane. Still got Kane and Haaland to play, Martial and Haaland to play, and then captain of Martial, which is a bit controversial, but as we discussed before the podcast started, I'm looking to do something that not everybody else is going to be doing. So if
Yeah, you're
Holland,
looking for that differential where you kind of make up points on everybody else.
yeah,
Then
and
you
I've
have
got a
Share on
decent
the
bench as
bench
well.
with 6, yeah.
Yeah, and then Madison and Delo as well. So I've got a fairly strong squad. I've a good bit of depth in my squad, I feel.
Yeah.
So I can swap
I
it
feel
around.
the same as well. I feel like I actually have good players. Maybe Brandon Williams isn't great, but like it's getting to the stage where I need to use that bench boost. And I need to use it at the right time where I've got good players ready and fit to play. So I'm kind of looking out where I can maybe take 2 out, take Brandon Williams out, and maybe upgrade him a little bit to someone that I know is going to be playing.
I
Probably we'll
think the
look
bench
at the
boost.
actual.
I think what I'll do next season is the first opportunity my full squad is fit, which will probably be the first game of the season. Is just play it. Because it's
Apparently,
so
a lot
hard.
of the like the people that are always up the top of it, they play it the first week just to get it out of the way, and because they know that's when you're going to get your kind of all your players fit, and then they use their wild card around week 4 or 5, I think it is. So that's kind of the way to do it. Right, Paddy, we're looking at the table here. Sitting top, O'Shea and Kane City. He's been top for a while, I think. He's definitely been up there, maybe just drifting around it. 71 points he's on this week. What the fuck? 71 points. He's got 1,046 points. Second place is Colly Lamb, 50 Shades of O'Shea. He's on 60 points. He's only 23 behind, so still open. Callum Warfield is there. Winner Bills. I like that one. 47 points. Bang on 1,000. Johnny Murphy, Saka Spuds.
That's very good.
990. Anto O'Rourke with Forest, 983. Connor Ennis with he's on 982. With James White in 7th with Stranger Mings, 979. Dean Fletcher in 8th. Sonny McGreevy in 10th, and we have Darren Stone in 10th. Oh, sorry. Sonny McGreevy in 9th and Darren Stone in 10th.
Let's just go down to number 12, position 12 there. Eric Tenslags.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Some of these names are great.
We have a good friend of the pod, Jay Daly, is actually up in 14th place there. So Jay's doing pretty well, actually. Talked to Jay a fair bit. So yeah, he's
looking at you're looking at low thousands, high 900s for to be anywhere near the top. What have we got on our? If you go into our one, I think are we still in the 800s?
Well, you're 43rd. Yeah, you're there. You're 922, so you're into the 900s. Like,
all right, not too bad. Not too bad.
I think I'm like
120 off the spot.
Spot. I'm not 905. I am.
Okay.
Now let's have a look, Paddy, and see who's in last position, because that's always a fun one. Patrick Keane with 577. Now I can only assume that he joined late, or else he is not changing his team.
He joined and then died or something. Hopefully
R.I.P. Patrick Keane, if you're listening. If you're listening.
If you're listening
from beyond.
From beyond. beyond the fucking
life. Nathan Dooley there in 138th, Pride of Villa. He's a Villa fan, probably makes sense. Nadia Pell there, Sean Stack, and then Patrick Redmond. So they're at bottom 5. Some horrendous scoring there, and they need to get their fucking shit together. So yeah.
Hopefully they're not all dead.
No, hopefully they're not all dead.
Although really, that's the only acceptable excuse they should have, is that they're dead. And other than that, they should just probably crawl under a rock and die anyway.
Yeah.
What having scores like that? You should be ashamed of yourselves.
It's embarrassing. Right, Paddy, we'll jump off the fantasy football and we're going to jump on to the weekend predictions. Right, Paddy, is Liverpool. Liverpool and Leicester. Sorry, I think I'm probably jumping in and out there. Liverpool and Leicester is the first one of the weekend. How do you see this one going for Liverpool? Leicester are struggling, really, aren't they?
Yeah. It's not the Leicester of old this season. They're shot. I seen them against Newcastle and they were fucking rubbish, absolutely rubbish. So, yeah, Liverpool, I think, will hammer them. And I'm going to say maybe 4-1 to Liverpool. Very
good. Paddy, sorry, you look like Wayne Rooney on the screen there. Yeah, look, I think Liverpool are gonna fucking bounce off them in this game. I think it'll be a convincing win. I'd say, yeah. Look, what did you say? 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're far wrong there. I think 4-0. I don't think Leicester are even going to score though.
Yeah.
I just think Liverpool have too much for them, and I just don't think Leicester are at it all. I think Brendan Rodgers could be getting chopped soon in the next kind of week or two.
I'm surprised he hasn't got it already.
I am surprised myself. They must love him there.
Yeah.
Because like any other club, he's doing that. He's getting sacked. Like with the
Maybe
talent they
financially
have
they
there.
can't afford it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that is another thing, isn't it?
Like they didn't back him in the summer, so they're thinking to themselves, okay, we know what our finances are like. Do we sack him, get a new manager in who we're not going to be able to back next summer either?
And the
Because if you get
problem
a new
is that
manager in, you have to back them.
exactly, yeah, and that's going to be the issue is that you get a manager in and you're not going to be able to back them, and you won't get anybody. No one will physically take the job because you're not gonna promise funds like so. Yeah, it's catch-22 there for them. Right, on to the next one, Paddy. It's Wolves and Man United. How do you see this one going for United?
Tough game. Good result for Wolves yesterday against Villa or against Everton. Good comeback towards the end. They got the goal, and I've always found that going to Wolves has been a difficult game in years gone by. So I'd say it will be tight, but United performing well. I still see us doing the business, but just doing the business. I'm gonna go for a narrow 2-1 win, and I'm gonna say Martial to score.
Okay, I'm actually going to go with a draw here, Paddy. I do think that Wolves aren't the worst team in the world, and I think that you may just struggle to break them down a bit, and I think you may go a goal behind and then get the equaliser. So very fucking particular there, but that's the way I see that game going. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, and I'm going to say Adama Traore to score because he done well against Everton. Paddy, just a quick one while we're on Wolves and Everton. Are you surprised Lampard hasn't been sacked yet?
No. It's like as bad as it is, it's still an improvement on last season.
Yeah. Are they going in the same direction though?
Do you think they'll be in the relegation scrap again?
Like they have enough not to be there, and I don't know why they're not. Is it just not suiting Lampard? Is that maybe not the right job for him?
They had Ancelotti there before him, and it wasn't suiting him either. And who else? They had a few managers that it's not clicking for them for some reason. Since the new owners came in, they injected a load of money, and they just can't. They're shocking, absolutely shocking. I think if they do want to get anywhere decent, I think they need to make a move similar to what Aston Villa have done, because I think Villa now have gotten a really, really serious manager in. And I think that's the way to go for a team that is just consistently in decline. As good as you might back Lampard, I don't think he's one of the world's best tacticians. But there's a few managers around that I think Everton, with the money they have, they can bring in and probably get somebody to do the job for them.
Yeah, like Lampard's not going to be the most experienced manager in the world. He's not. Look, he's not a Thomas Tuchel or anything like that. Like, in terms of his experience and his kind of tactical knowledge. Like, but I just don't know what's going on there, and I'm very surprised that he actually hasn't been sacked yet. The fans seem to be getting very, very pissed off, and they're booing a lot lately, which is like Everton fans. Let's be honest, they're not a fucking set of fans that hide their opinion well.
No, I know, yeah. Well, Rafa Benitez was there before him, wasn't it? Rafa
was there as well, yeah. Rafa Benitez was there as well.
It's in a bit of a mess, the club, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's there's something going wrong there. Something's just not adding up. But sure, look, we'll see what happens. That'll kind of develop over the next kind of week or two. So Paddy, we'll move on to the last game of the season, or last game of the season. The last game of the season. It's United versus. No, we're going to the last game of the week, and it is Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Nottingham Forest are one of them teams, Paddy, aren't they? You don't know what you're going to get with them. There's so many new signings that just fucking they can either play great in one week or else they're absolutely atrocious. And I think they're going to be atrocious, to be honest with you. I think United are probably going to spank them tonight, and I think Chelsea are probably going to do the same. If we start with four at the back, if we go the same way, the same team, we don't bring Ruben Loftus-Cheek in because he shouldn't ever wear a Chelsea jersey ever again. If we do that, I think Chelsea might be good, and I think we should win 3-0.
Right.
But I don't know if we will or not because
I think
still.
tonight will be a good gauge of where Notts Forest are, because we're all saying, "Oh, United will smash them," but they might come out and actually be a lot better than we think they
Yeah.
are. After the World Cup, maybe they could have worked, a lot on the training pitch, because not a lot of their players would have been at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So let's hope not. But yeah, I think tonight you'll have a much clearer picture as to how you'll do the weekend. But I can't see anything other than a Chelsea win.
Yeah, so give us a score prediction. We'll wrap this up, Paddy, because we're
3-1, and Havertz to score.
Okay, perfect. Paddy, I think that's all we have. What did I say? Did I say 3-0? Did I 3-0? And I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say 3-0, and I'm gonna say
Reece James is injured.
Havertz. Oh no.
You just have to indicate.
No, he has his hands on his head as well. No. No. Oh no.
Yeah, I always said Trent's more resilient, better player.
This is absolutely horrific news for Chelsea. He looks distraught.
No. Yeah.
This is horrific news. Whatever that injury he's only after coming back from, it looks like he's after redoing
that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That is just fucking heartbreaking to see.
Back to trade back now the weekend.
Look, the only positive of this is it might help us get Potter sacked.
Every cloud, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's just not nice to see. Now I see Aspilicueta coming on there, which is I love Aspilicueta. He's brilliant, but I think even the lads are standing there and they're not. Yeah, that's a bit disheartening now for Reece James after working so hard.
Yeah,
having so long off and recovering so well to fucking going and being injured again. Mason Mount doesn't look happy either. Anyway, Paddy, look, it is what it is for Chelsea. We've been through stuff like this before, and it won't be the fucking last time we'll go through it. So, Paddy, I think we'll wrap it up at that. It's been a decent show.
Yeah. Decent? Is that like a 3 out of 5?
No, 3 out of 5. Are we not going out of 10? I would have said out of 5 is like old school. You have to go 10, don't we?
What would you give it out of 10 then?
Well, I'll give it a 5-star review. Is what the first thing I do on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That's what I do first, right? And then what I do is I'd subscribe to the YouTube channel and I'd follow us on Facebook. I'd follow us on TikTok. I'd follow us on Twitter. I'd follow us on Spotify as well. What would you do then?
Look, and I was listening to the Peter Crouch podcast, and when they started out, they had a good concept. Whereas, like, if anybody's listening to this, just share it with one friend.
Yeah,
just share it with one friend, and tell them to have a listen and get them to share it. Like pass it on. And for every time you share it, I'll say a prayer for the poor hungry kids in Africa.
One share of this podcast means one dying baby in Africa survives.
Yeah.
And
prove us wrong that they didn't.
Exactly. Yeah, because this could be saving their lives. They're actually using their podcast to test their hearing. You're actually saving babies' hearing as well. They get to hear us for the first time.
Yeah, God love them.
How can you go wrong? Yeah, poor fuckers. Right, Paddy. On that note, we're going to wrap it up there. It's been a pleasure having you on. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to listeners.
Everybody. Yeah. And actually, sorry, a big well done to Jordan Murphy, who won our sweepstakes. We never even said it last week. He had Argentina in the sweepstakes. Aidan Brown had France, and Sarah Brady had Costa Rica, who conceded the most goals, who got 20 quid. So well done to all of them as well.
Yeah, well done.
Well done. Woo, yeah, I'm delighted with this. Right, Paddy, we're going to be back next week, I presume. I didn't even check the calendar. I'd say we're going to be back next Tuesday. I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd, so we should be all right. Same time, I presume.
And maybe we do end the season predictions, considering we'll be halfway through.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. I think we'll do end of season predictions. We'll have top 4, top scorer, all the usual shit, relegation, who's getting relegated. Because we don't really look at the relegation that much now that we're kind of just doing our own teams.
Yeah. And maybe we can make it interesting and maybe come up with whoever gets it the closest to being right wins something, and whoever gets it the worst has a bit of a penalty.
Has to die. We get to kill them or something.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, that was too much, was it?
Yeah.
No,
I
we
was
like
thinking
to.
shaving an eyebrow or something. Not dying.
Oh, okay. Wait, I was
That's not
going the whole
Hunger
other
Games.
direction.
Fucking hell.
Right, Paddy, we're going to leave it there. We will be back next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for us because it helps us grow. And that's all we want to do. So thanks everyone for joining. We'll see everyone next week.